Anyways, when did we last record? So we can dive into
A month ago?
Was it a month ago?
Yeah.
I hadn't moved here yet.
So over a month ago. It was probably
I hadn't
over a month
closed
ago.
yet.
We haven't even
Yeah,
talked to Andre yet.
No, we were talking about the future potential, Andre.
Yeah.
We were like, hey, there's going to be a guy, and he's going to edit the podcast.
Yeah.
He'll edit this
that
episode.
was the day I think I posted the ad.
Yeah.
Or one of the days I
think you were
posted
talking about
the ad. And that weekend, that's when we had the small interview, and it went well. So, yeah, now my YouTube series is blowing up, I think.
Nice.
I have like a total of 500 views.
Holy shit, actually, though?
In all,
Like,
maybe.
That's
but
not bad.
No, it's like probably like my family members watching. But yeah, it's
Mom's
actually
on repeat
super fun
the entire
and, like,
time.
This is exactly what I wanted to do. So
Yeah.
it's really fun, like getting something, an idea that you had, and then
Yeah.
putting into action is awesome. So
I got a giggle out of the first, not out of the second one.
every time I say awesome, okay, so every time we shoot, every time Andre and I have been out shooting, I have a tendency to just keep calling everything awesome. It's like the one
Yes.
word in my vocabulary. And
heard it.
You heard it?
Checked it.
You pointed it out? You did
To
your
myself.
mark? You're like, this guy says awesome all the time.
Yep.
So
Everyone
time
has a word, though. Like, everyone's got.
Yeah, I know. And mine is awesome. So every time I say it, he just like looks at me, and I know immediately. So we were shooting it.
Up. You've said awesome 14 times.
I say like this whole like 30-second spiel.
Yeah.
And I'm about to end it off. I'm like, and I'm like, oh fuck. and
Need a synonym?
And he just yells out, awesome. That didn't make the final cut, but that was so
no.
funny.
That should be like Instagram clip or something. Like, you need a blooper reel of some variety.
Yeah.
No, the first one you did, the City Place one, got me laughing because the boat is a beautiful landmark. But when you live in City Place and you live in a unit that has a direct view to the boat at 2:00 in the morning, landmarks get defiled.
Yeah. You know who lives there now? Sahas.
A lot of people. Oh, like Osama Monica's thing, right?
Yeah, he was there. Yeah.
In City Place. Yeah.
Cool plug-in. So how have you been? We're in your new,
It's
place now.
been chaos.
Yeah.
So you think being like in the industry, specifically dealing like on every deal with a renovation of some variety, investment properties, blah 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 blah, this and that, you'd be smart enough to say, maybe I should hold my Liberty rental for another month or so I can finish the renovation before I jump ship and, get a 2-week window of construction time. We gutted the entire top floor here, and we lived in the basement for the month or so extra that it took to gut the entire top floor
so
here.
you lived where we are.
I mean,
exactly right now.
we're shooting in our bedroom, living room, closet, kitchen. Well, the closet and kitchen and dishwasher and laundry room are all in the bathroom over there. So that was a fun thing. Plus, we only had one bathroom once they tore out the one on the top. And like the contractors would give you like a 2-week grace period, or like they were tiptoeing around, right? You could tell they were going to take a crunch when they went to Taco Bell at lunch. But then one of the new guys on site, he came and Lauren was like working over there. I'm working in here, thank God. I don't give a shit. But bed's here. Lauren's got the little shitty desk set up over there and was working. Guy walks down. He's like, yeah, can I use the bathroom? I guess he really had to go. And she's like, yeah, cool. And then like the floodgates opened. Every single day there was like 4 guys taking shits in our only fucking bathroom in our low ceiling, like 300 square foot basement box.
Used and abused.
Oof. Yeah, that thing's seen some work. But we're pretty much done. Right, we're done enough that we can put a podcast studio down here. That my grass has grown, sort of. I got green stuff in the back. Some is weeds, most is grass.
That looks good.
Right,
Everything looks good.
Top floor, we were pumped though. Like everything upstairs kind of came out like exactly like we wanted. Doors look sweet. The furniture for the doors looks sweet. Even like we went carpet, and we were like, we're not super sure if that's the route, but we wanted it to be comfortable. It's not like a flip or like I'm not doing it for value this time.
Yeah.
Which is also another weird thing. I know I'm super tangenting because, well, it's my house. So
I feel
now
like
I'm drinking.
this is you didn't listen to any of the vets in this.
No, well, it's like the mechanic's
my dad
car.
being
Like you don't listen to your own stuff.
He's like, you really chose to move in during
Renos?
And you're like, yeah, it's gonna be 2 weeks.
Yeah,
and he's like.
And like I said it, and I know I was wrong. I knew it was bullshit. I'm like, yeah, no
2 weeks, please.
Super optimistic. No, but it's different doing your own project versus like if you're building out a rental, it's at this point it's like so boring.
Well, there's no emotion in it.
It's
And
like
it was the
I know
same for
what
mine, same for
finish
yours,
is
like-
the best X and Y and the dollar
Exactly.
value and the return and the whatever. And then you look at your own house and you're like, oh fuck, what do I actually want?
Yeah.
So the whole top floor was like, it was a gong show. It was like 3 weeks of fighting over finishes. I looked at like 7,000 taps and faucets and shit, but
And you didn't take the gold ones. I thought you
no,
would.
I got
thought-
duped.
I thought I would have done
wanted
it.
it.
I would have still done it.
Yeah.
You know I would have done it though.
I know.
I'm still waiting for my gold
The
business
problem with the
cards.
gold is like you gotta go if you go gold like handles, then you gotta go gold faucet and like light
Yeah.
fixture and shit.
Nah.
And there's like a 3x markup just to flip it to gold.
Yeah.
Which
Because it
drives me
looks
crazy, but it does
baller.
look dope. Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe one day Lauren will bounce and I'll just come home and like she'll come home and the whole house will just be
Like
all
girls
the gold
trip
furniture.
for this week. Gold.
I bought you guys a trip to Vegas. Excellent. No, and upstairs too. I wanted the bathroom. The bathroom's very like white and gray, and I wanted the gold faucet and like shower set and stuff like that. But it looked too much.
I don't know why the whole time we've been speaking, all I've been thinking about is the drop in interest rates. I don't know why, but I think it's because of all the conversations I had today with different clients and also myself and mortgage agents. And everybody's like, it's so low right now. And
Yeah.
it kept going down. I remember the conversation I had with my own mortgage agent 3 months ago. And he was trying to lock me in at 2.3 with a fixed rate.
Seems cheap.
And I was at, I
For the
believe it
past
was like
decade.
it was a 2.7 variable rate.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
or 2
actually
point
would've been
whatever. It was good at that time. It was whatever it was, 2.5, 2.7, or 2.4, whatever it was.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Are you sure you can lock in at a historically low rate at 2.3?" And I was like, "Man,
We just
listen,
keep getting historically low.
there was you have to look at the economy and the fundamentals. It's COVID. Nobody has a job.
Yeah.
How are interest rates going to go
Spike?
up?
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense. The whole reason the Bank of Canada lowers interest rates is to stimulate the economy.
Yeah.
Right.
Keep people
exactly.
spending.
You
with some
put interest rates
disposable.
high, and people are going to start saving more because they can get a higher return. You put interest rates low, and there's a lot more money to be played with. Everybody's spending, buying, and nobody's nobody's like holding on to their money because they can get 7% returns on things.
Yeah.
It's they take it out just like what we're doing now. And that's the only reason our economy is staying afloat is because interest rates are super low. They were pretty low to begin with, but I think now you can get 1.8, 1.7.
Yeah, we were talking to. We had. I did a new client, like a discovery tour type thing, right? A few months back with a doctor, and doctors kind of always have sweet rates, right? They have special programs at certain banks, like MD Doctor, and he was talking about sub 1% or no, wow, imagine sub 2% rates.
It's possible.
Now it's getting not too far
Negative
from
interest
possible,
rates are
right?
a real thing, and it could happen.
Imagine here. Oof, I'd be way too leveraged. Anyways, but
Yeah.
no, he was talking about like, okay, yeah, he's got sub 2, 1.9, 1.95, whatever. And at that time we were like, that's smoking, right?
Yeah.
Cash flows
Now
look
it's-
spectacular. Now that's like the norm.
Normal, yeah.
Right.
Just wait until 6 more months.
I'm curious, very curious.
Well, think about it this way. So COVID's been here now for what, 6 months? Maybe a little bit.
March like 18
It was
is
March
the
17,
date that 17, 18 is
Yeah.
like when I remember
Things
things
closing
just
down.
went like just dead stop. At least thinking in the context of like real estate and stuff.
Wow. So
We
it's
had just
only been
sold
5 months.
Kane right before that, and then it was like I was looking at all the deals in the neighborhood that had offer dates on or around that date, and like 17, 18 is when I remember if you fell on one side, you landed real good. If you fell on the other side, you got fucked.
Yeah, that was exactly it. And actually, one of our friends, Alton Shikuli.
Elton,
Elton listed
Shout
a
out.
$2.5 million mansion like in Kleinberg. So it was pretty big for $2.5 million.
He's got the Woodbridge game,
Yeah, he
Woodbridge
does.
Climber game on
he,
lock.
He listed it the day of the whole shutdown. And like imagine that feeling too, right?
I know.
It's terrible. You work so hard to get a listing like that,
Yeah.
and that happens.
Because
So
that's been like things were on such a steep rise. Like as an agent at that time, you're like fucking win,
Yeah,
huge win.
huge win. Oh yeah, and then now
it's-
it's still listed, right? Because
Yeah, I can imagine, and it's
nobody
probably
was buying it.
not at 2.5 anymore.
Maybe not for long, but yeah, that's another story. But yeah, so interest rates are so low right now. Now's obviously a great
So are you
time.
refinancing?
Of course I'm refinancing. Of course.
Segue.
What kind of question is that? Yeah, of course. So what was it? 3 months ago, 2 point whatever it was a 2,700 ish mortgage payment. That's going to probably stay pretty similar, and we're going to bump up and pull out all our money. So, I mean,
that was a dirty buy. I mean, we both Sam shot videos in both of our homes recently for a good reason, right? That period
did
of
she
time.
post the one?
No, she shot it like
okay.
earlier this week.
Maybe it'll probably be.
Should be next week, probably.
Yeah.
By the time that this is out, that episode should be out. Is like on the Elevate page of a walkthrough of the rest of the home where you can see the pre-podcast studio basement and the post shit show upstairs.
Nice.
But it was very much the same concept. One was for investment and one was not, but there was a huge dip, and like talk about after that March 18, nothing happened for like 2 months, 3 months. Like the market was just dead. There was so much uncertainty. Stuff changed every single day. And I think you bought your place first, and then I got salty.
Yeah,
that's how it goes. I was just like, fuck that. No, but we bought this place by accident. Let's be real. Like that was an accidental tour. Exactly. We came here and we were like, I was coming to the East End. So like it was East versus West for us in like our property search. It was like, do we go to our usual investment hub? Like I know the numbers work over there. My brain was still very much numbers oriented. And meanwhile, we're fighting on like what are the good school zones and families and blah, 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 right? And we came over here and I was looking at it like to put it to bed because like this was out of the price range. And we talk about this a little bit in Sam's video, but we're like, just couldn't afford this pocket. Everything was like offer dates, selling for 1-2 firm that was like the entry level for something that we would consider. And then we did the intro tour with my own wife. Did the discovery tour with my wife.
Your toughest client?
Literally the fucking toughest client. But took her around the hood, and we were like, okay, this doesn't work. This is crazy. Sold one near Nick's listing on Palmer. And we were like, we can see like the buildings from like the master bedroom window.
Buildings.
We're like, not here.
Golf course.
Yeah, exactly. And then we saw this thing, and we had like 2 other showings, and we were like, I just kind of like did the math in my head walking through, and I'm like, okay, you can do this with it. This has already been done. Like they did a lot of the behind the walls, plumbing, electrical, the old house shit.
Is it a smart home? Is it all connected?
I'm working on it slowly but surely. I did the Nest like literally yesterday, like the thermostat. I've got the doorbell in a box, but like.
So how much did you put? Did you talk about this in the
like reno wise?
Yeah.
No, we've spent about 30. Like it'll be about 35, I think, by the time that we're done.
That's like realtor discount. 35.
Yeah, that's calling in all the fit. Like I've worked obviously in the property management space for God knows how long, so it's like and all these contracts here and there. So it was
feel you.
Calling in favors on this one.
I know how long I've worked in it, and it feels like God knows how long.
Yeah. Now imagine 9-10 years of that. Anyways, but yeah, it was calling in all the favors. It was still quite a bit of work. Like top floor got completely gutted, insulated, flooring, railings, doors, all etc. LVLs in the master, so we can like open up ceiling height for certain spaces. My dog has completely podcast bombed our setup.
That's okay,
which is adorable.
So you can chill.
I know.
Okay, so I was driving on Allen Road. You know Allen Road?
Of course.
Everybody's been on Allen Road.
Yeah.
And stuck on Eglinton there. Eglinton and Allen Road there have been under construction for over 5-6 years, I think.
Okay, hold your thought. Somebody dropped the funniest, most meta Eglinton joke on me the other day, and I think I've seen it on like Blog.to, but it's funny as hell, so I have to repeat it. It was something along the lines of, and I was doing like a property tour at the time, and it was something along the lines of like, treat yourself like Eglinton, no matter how inconvenient you are for everybody else. Never stop working on yourself. You have to like live here and have driven on Eglinton sometime in the past 10 years.
If you live in the GTA, you understand.
But fuck, it was so
it's
good.
Been rough.
Okay, get out of here.
So I'm driving Allen Road. I'm making a right to go to Eglinton, and there's always a lineup of cars. It's a 5-minute wait minimum.
Yeah.
And there's always, every time you go there will be some beggar asking for for money every time.
Yeah, yeah.
Almost every time without a doubt. And usually they're just at the side with their sign, or they walk by the cars and then the green light goes and they go off to the side again.
Yeah.
So I'm sitting there probably 15 cars back and I have a perfect view of this. And I start shitting my pants. I see a guy, he was probably 250 to 300 pound, big guy, walking really aggressively, like he was mean and probably not all up there. And he's walking and he is going to each car asking for money. Seems normal.
Yeah.
Kind of. Normal for Toronto. And I'm watching all this. I'm like, okay. And what happens? Guy gives him a toonie. Goes to the next car. What happens when he gets there and the guy doesn't give him a toonie? Smashes the mirror. And I'm like watching this. I'm like, oh my God. I'm like,
You're
I'm
pulling your cash out.
like, so he keeps going. Next car doesn't give him money. Smash. Next car doesn't give him money. Smash. Next car obviously gives him money. The car after that doesn't know what's going on. Smash. So I'm like 3 cars away, and I'm like going through my console, just rummaging through, and I go, oh my God, I just spent my last toonies on a car wash. Just literally that day before I got there on the road. I just got a car wash.
Amazing.
So I'm sitting there, and I'm like, fuck, this guy is 2 cars away now. So he comes, and I'm like, I have to trick him. That's my only way. So as soon as we make eye contact, he's like, a few meters away. I look at him to make sure he sees me. So I frantically look at my console like I'm digging for money. Like I'm just trying to do my best to get this guy some money. I look over and he's in the window looking at me, just like got any money? And I look at him and I just go, and by that time I stalled enough where there was like maybe a 2-car kind of gap
forward.
So I just pulled forward just enough where he couldn't smash my mirror. I look back. I thought he would like kick my car or something. Nothing. He just looks. He's kind of like, goes to the next car, smash. And I was like, nice.
You're the reason that other guy
probably. But that was, my heart was pounding, and I'm happy I made it alive.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Don't know how to follow that one.
Yeah, I wanted to talk about that on the last video we shot. If you haven't watched, check it out. My YouTube channel, Sprio Briselis.
Holy fucking plug.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, check it out. We
Give
went
him a
to,
downvote if you
Andre.
can while you're there, just for the brutal plug. Don't do that. That's rude.
Give me a
Smash the like
downvote.
button.
Smash the like button. It doesn't matter. I don't care. Both are good. Leave a comment.
Just give me some feedback.
I love comments. But yeah, if you haven't checked it out, Liberty Village, we were just there. It's awesome. See?
Yeah.
See? You got...
You sneaking the camera or something? What did I miss?
Oh, I said awesome.
You
see,
I gotta see. I'm not noticing as much
It's
yet.
an inside joke. I haven't
so
said it
left
as
out.
much. Yeah. But I
Left my
tried
old
sneaking that story in there, and I was like, this has nothing to do with it, and it doesn't sound
No.
very good.
Well,
speaking of beggars, man, Liberty Village.
yeah, so we used to be in like the Liberty townhomes. I mean, I think Lauren still is, but I left as soon as I left Liberty because I stayed in the City Place Facebook group for way too long.
Oh, you mean the Facebook group?
The local community Facebook groups, and like the ones that are just pure toxic drama at all fucking times. I left the Liberty one like right away, but Lauren's still in it. Anyways, that's like a cesspool. As soon as they put the respite centers up, not Liberty.
That's at Lamport, right?
I mean the Facebook group. Yeah, at Lamport. There's one at Lamport and one across from the gates into the X. But as soon as they put them up, it was like that Liberty group was just like everyone was ripping each other's faces off daily. But the respite centers bring homeless people, and then the other people would come in and be like, but you're a piece of shit for thinking that, and blah, blah, blah. And I'm not taking any fucking side in this fight, but it's funny to read the comments.
Oh my God. It's pretty rough right now.
Liberty is, it's a bit of a tent city in and around the area right now. I think just due to
it's right
COVID
beside the
and
carpet
people
factory, which another plug. Go watch my video on the carpet factory.
You can see a picture of the carpet factory and green screened in the background.
And you see also in the background tents in Lamport.
Okay, really?
Yeah.
In your video? I didn't see
Lamport.
it.
I don't know. You've probably been there pretty recently.
We used to
right?
play soccer at Lamport, like pre-COVID.
Yeah. It's a great.
indoor.
I used to play soccer there back in the day too. But yeah, that whole area there is just.
Yeah.
I think due to COVID, so
They
the
don't
theory is
have as much of a. They actually gave people tents.
well, that's the whole point, right? You want them to stay there and just be
Close.
safe. Yeah, everybody stay together. Just hang out here. Nobody go around, walking around, and like go into different areas because it's less likely for them to transmit the disease to other people or get it, and then everybody's infected. So they're all just hanging out there. But Yeah, that's I mean, yeah, it's both ways. You can see it both ways, right? It sucks. No
it's
matter
big city problems.
It sucks for everybody. Sucks for them mainly.
Yeah.
But sucks for other people as well because you don't want to you don't want any homelessness, right?
Well,
that's what it comes down to.
But as that from like the property owner side, for sure, I see it.
From the property owner, no, but even
or just
from
like in general,
their side as
oh,
well.
yeah,
you don't want to live on this. You don't want
Yes.
people on the street. Like that's the issue, right? Yeah, it's rightfully so. You could be pissed that people are living beside something that you just paid, $2 million for, and they're just living outside. Yeah, that's valid. But you could also be pissed that you don't have a home to live
for
in.
Free.
Well, yeah, right? Like, yeah.
No, I think that the only reason I said it is because that's such like a point of like the first points of the argument in the Facebook groups were always, oh, but they're decreasing my value, blah 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 blah, right? But the condo that just went up in front of you and blocked your view to the CN Tower has a significantly bigger adverse effect on your property value.
Yeah.
But
oh yeah. That was one of my. So I've created something called the Spiro Index Score. Andre named it.
I fucking hate this already.
Wow.
Carry on.
So actually, it's a pretty clever way to rank neighborhoods or homes. So you might even start using this.
You could even say it's sick.
Awesome. It's awesome is the word, not sick. So I'm gonna pull it out because I need it in front of me. What do you mean sick?
Spiro Index. Core.
Score.
Oh, I thought you said core.
No. Okay, so
don't
I'm
drink
it
on
in
your
front
podcast
of me because
kids.
it's a little bit better. But so what it is, it's actually okay. Backstory here. I don't know if this is a good thing to say, but back in middle school, my friends and I made a rating system.
Oh, I probably also did one of these, but
yes.
Carry on. No,
Well, that's all I'm going to say.
No, I want to hear your. Tell me about this.
It was just for investments.
Investments
much.
In.
Anyways, so I took
investments in what?
Oh, in girls.
Okay.
In girls. Yeah, it was. Okay. You saw. What did you like in a girl? Was it her personality? Mine was always personality first.
Of course.
And then nothing else mattered. So that's all I cared about. But the other guys maybe said other things. And we're talking middle school, so let's move forward.
100%.
100%. So what this score does, and I'm going to try to explain it, but it's a little bit confusing. But you pick 4 subjects, right? So you have your 4 main categories. So in the Spiro Index score, those 4 categories are community, accessibility, scenery, and investment. Okay. So investment opportunity, right? Now you rank those scores from your top priority to your bottom priority. So what do you value the most, right? So for somebody like you and me, it would be probably investment, right? And then maybe it's community, then maybe it's scenery, then maybe it's accessibility. So that's actually my order. So what you do there is
I think I put accessibility higher.
Personally. So for me, I chose to have it at the bottom because I drive everywhere, and
so this is you personally. Like if you were to buy a house,
this is why this score works perfectly.
I agree. I'm accessibility at the bottom then
because exactly right. So you put yourself in the shoes, but your client, for example, might think maybe they don't drive and they need to be a 5-minute walk away from Lansdowne Station. That's where accessibility goes maybe second on their part. Maybe they don't care about investment at all. They're like, yeah, $3 million, let's buy a home. I don't care where it is, right? So anyways, it's very personalizable.
No, personal.
Personal. It's very personal. Everybody could edit it the way they want. Okay, so what you do is you grab investment. So that's my first one, top priority, and you give it a score out of 10, right? So let's say it's a 10 out of 10 to make it easy. Now you multiply that by 4 because there are 4 categories and it's your top one. So 10 times 4 would equal 40. Okay? This is going to be super confusing for people, but just follow me here. Now your second in line, which for me would be community, right? Community, you would multiply that by 3, right? Yeah. So let's say it's 10 again. I rank this is the best neighborhood in the world. So
everything's
10. Community, it's 10 out of 10 times 3, right? So right there we have 70, a score of 70.
And then you get to a total of 100.
Yeah, exactly.
Gotcha.
So your third score times 2 and your final one times 1. And then you would get your score of 100. So out of 100%. So you can rank every home you see on your own personal Spiro Index score and it would be an accurate representation of how much you actually value that area.
Yeah.
So we've done it for the two for Liberty Village.
Oh, neighborhoods.
Exactly.
In general. Yeah, okay.
It's easier for neighborhoods than homes,
yeah.
but Liberty Village and City Place, which are practically similar scores, they're very. I think the difference that I see from Liberty Village and City Place is that there's not much more room to grow in City Place. Like what's there is kind of there.
Well, they finished. Well, I think they're working in the last one, or
whatever
finished,
it is there's not many. Liberty Village is just like there's a new condo going up in every single corner.
There's 4 on most corners.
Yeah.
If you live in the towns and your only access out of the building is through 6 different construction sites, and I was telling Andre about this earlier, is we kind of glad we're here and I have my own parking now.
Oh yeah.
We used to since the buildings have started to go up, we used to Lauren walked to work or transited to work, but I would pull up like the parking garage, and literally as soon as the garage door opened, there'd be a guy standing there with the stop sign for like a construction worker being like, get fucked. You're staying here today.
Oh my God.
And then you'd wait like 10, 15
every
minutes.
single day.
And maybe it wasn't always 10, 15 minutes, but it was like 30 seconds to 15 minutes, roll the dice any given day. And there was at one point 2 exits, but the last like 6 months, 3 to 6 months that we were living there, they closed the other one for repair because that's a fucking great move at the same time. So yeah, that was, anyways, I tangented hard there. I love Liberty. Score. But the Spiro Index score seems interesting. I think City Place would have a higher City Place definitely has a higher like accessibility, but not by much.
It was a very similar score. I think I can't remember off the top of my head, but I think it was like which one was higher, Andre? Do you remember?
City Place.
City Place.
Higher.
City Place was by 0.3.
I wish I could say get closer to the mic right now.
Yeah.
Just go full bad friends.
Yeah. Yeah, but so they're pretty similar areas. My only thing was that City Place as an investor. So first of all, some people will say it's a great investment opportunity. Others will say it's a terrible. It depends what type of investor you are.
Everyone's got a criteria.
Yeah. So I wouldn't say it's good or bad. It depends how you invest. If you go BRRRR strategy and refinance options, that's not what you're looking at all. That's probably the last.
I don't think either of those neighborhoods is what you're looking at.
No, not at all. Not at all. But if you're looking at a super, super passive way of managing and no headaches, people are always going to rent it. I say that with quotations because actually rent has gone down in those areas by a significant amount.
Dramatic amount.
Yeah, like 10% roughly. So 10 to 50, 5?
No. Oh, sorry. That's right.
Oh, 20%?
Yeah, you're in the 20
wow.
to 20. I think that I saw an article the other day, the first, like the highest note I had seen from a year-over-year loss was 35%.
Whoa.
So far. But it's, I mean, we've had a God knows how many like new client intro calls because so much of the content that Elevate has been putting out in the past pre-COVID is so much more geared towards freehold and away from
condo.
Away from condo, right? So now that like condos are actually getting shit kicked and freehold is still doing fine or spectacular, people are like seeing the content and they're like, "Oh wait, this came out pre-COVID? Like you guys are actually right about this one?"
Yeah, you guys
knew what you were doing the whole time. Obviously, we didn't know a pandemic was coming, but like you can look at an asset and say, is it underpinned by strong fundamentals, like investment fundamentals? And all these condos that were being like hacked together by Airbnb, which wasn't even like a legit use for a lot of the properties, was like, okay, well, I don't know what's going to happen, right? But like if the worst thing happens, you're probably in trouble. Right?
Yes.
And a lot of those people right now are in trouble.
Well, sorry to interrupt, but if something's too good to be true, so a lot of Airbnb rentals, for example, if you're making like $4,000 or $5,000 of rent a month on like a 1-bedroom, 400 square foot condo, there's definitely a catch. It's the risk reward.
Somebody was going to fight back, but
something was going to happen. It's not just the new regulations, which are a lot more now, a lot harder to get by, but it's the fact that something like this happens and your whole business goes out the window and then you have to carry all of a sudden. And so, you know what? I think like the basic principles of the way we invest typically always work. When I say always, I mean 99.9%.
You might not get your cash out tomorrow, but in the worst case scenario that's happening right now, you can hold, right? Like I absolutely love a nice big fat refinance, but I also love the fact that I can sleep tonight knowing that if I can't do a big fat refinance, then the property's still going to pay for itself, right?
And you'll have some money that you can put into your account so that when you need to replace the roof, you have it. At least it's there. You don't have to go from your hard-earned cash. You make $80,000 a year, whatever that amount is, and you have to pay.
But what happens if you don't? Right? What happens if you own one of these condos? Your sole strategy was Airbnb, and it was cash flow positive. Probably pretty cash flow positive by doing Airbnb. And you are also in maybe like a retail or a restaurant industry, and you lost your job during COVID. And if you looked at it from a long-term strategy, you were eating a negative chunk of cash flow every month anyways on your purchase. And then you lost your job. So you now don't have the cash to cover that negative, where a lot of people might. And your tenant profile doesn't exist because Airbnb doesn't exist right now. Well, they do, but it's not happening, right?
Yeah.
So you have to shift to long-term rental. At the same time that all the other Airbnb condo owners in the same situation are also shifting to rental.
Flooded the market.
Absolutely flooded. So many, and I did a few condo deals in and around the Liberty area, both on the lease and on the sale side. And it was amazing how many I would see on both the lease and the sale side. Like, shit, fuck, someone just take my unit and do something with it so I'm not drowning right now.
And now you see a lot listed in those two areas. So I chose City Place and Liberty Village because it's so unique that I think those are the two neighborhoods that were affected dramatically by price changes, both in the rental market and the purchase market.
All along King West, like
that whole
King
area.
West
It's all condos, because condos are the first thing. Once you tell somebody that you have to be stuck in a 400 square foot condo for 5 months and you can't see outside, and you're cooped up there with your wife or husband or whoever, and you're both working from home, and you're losing your mind.
That's the people that took our unit. Like when we left Liberty, that was a couple left a 400 square foot bachelor with their brand new 3-month-old dog, and they were both working from home. I would go fucking crazy.
Yeah, definitely.
There's no way. But I mean, we were pretty much in the same scenario.
Yeah,
but it's like
at least you had an outdoor area.
That's it, and we had
it was more exciting. You just open your door and you're outside.
Big time the difference between being in a condo and being in like a freehold space or like a townhouse or something along those lines, right? Like a lot of the new client calls are like, okay, well, how is condo doing? How is freehold doing? How are rents doing? And they just assume like rents and tenancy is the same across the board.
It's a total different game.
But it's so different and more so now than ever from the condo to the freehold side, because there's such like this exodus of people leaving condos. They don't want the elevator that has like a 40-minute wait time because there's 2 people allowed per elevator. They don't want to have to wear masks in their area. They want an easy step outside. They don't want a building that is potentially, one person gets COVID and then you're all in trouble kind of idea. So many more people are leaving condos and moving to the townhomes. And like I did a lease when we left, right? Our landlord owned 2 units, or hell, he owns multiple units, the landlord from Liberty. But he was like, hey, do you want to lease this place? Because he knew it was an agent. And then he also gave me his other unit to lease, which was in a condo. One of the nicest condos in the entire neighborhood on King West, DNA 3. It's like known for being like the cream of the crop, and in a good market or even like a normal market, that would have been so easy to rent, right?
Yeah.
Put it up.
I remember this.
People are like fighting over it. Well, the flip side happened. The towns are kind of like an older, not well kept, like in Liberty. They're real old finishes. Mm-hmm. They have Kitech plumbing. Nothing's like
they're like from
bad,
what is it, early thousands?
Yeah, like 2003, 2006.
Yeah,
somewhere
that's
in that range.
You can tell.
Yeah, they're great spaces, and I loved having the accessibility to go outdoors. But like more so now than ever, if I were to come from a condo, I would need that. So when we listed the townhouse, that we lived in, 3 offers day one, like from a rental side, so competition. When we listed, that's a beautiful face. When we listed the DNA. The condo, it was like a month and a half of fighting, and we had to do work. Whoo! Sorry, little audio scare for a second there. Hopefully this turns out okay.
Yeah, everything good?
Yeah, it just says some updates could not be installed because GarageBand interrupted restart.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah,
okay,
thank
God that GarageBand interrupted the restart, or else you wouldn't.
Yeah,
be
well, you can tell
we're
we're super green to all this.
Still recording.
Okay,
great.
perfect.
Great.
Don't cut that out. That
No,
was entertaining
keep
as
this in.
fuck.
Okay, I want to take a step back here. We've been kind of ripping on condos a little bit, but I think it's actually a really great investment opportunity as well.
Oh, now?
Well, now especially.
Yeah.
But it's for the total. It's for a different type of investor. You can't be thinking that you're gonna become super rich off of a condo right away. This is for somebody who wants very minimal management costs. So even if you get property management, for example, they're almost across the board much
cheap.
less expensive. Yeah, it's relatively easy to manage a condo because there are so many of those external factors that you take out of play. There's no roof. It's a condo board. It's probably a little bit newer, especially where you buy. So you take all that out when you buy a condo. So there's a lot of people who, for example, I heard this today in a call with a client, and he was saying how he's a mature client now. He owns a few investment properties, and now he's kind of gone are his days of doing what we do, where we buy a property.
Sweat equity.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We renovate it. It's not a risk, but it's a lot of stress for somebody who doesn't live and breathe it like we do. And he's like, I'm done with that. I want turnkey now. I'm now for his portfolio, he's probably meaning, more expensive properties that are fine. But for somebody who isn't at that stage and is at an earlier stage and doesn't have $1 million or 1.5, but they can qualify for 500,000 or 600,000.
Yep.
The condos are a great investment.
Well, we often, I mean, the argument is like, do you leave the city versus do you just buy a condo, right? You could spend the 600,000 in a few different, like, I don't even want to say local because you're probably driving like an hour and a half, but you could spend it in some of those markets, or you could stay in the core. And I think the argument is to a very much more safe. It's almost like mutual fund versus picking your own stock, right? Like, it's so much more safe. The return is lower. The work is lower. It's safer. The return is far more, I don't want to say guaranteed given the situation we're in right now, but it's much more safer, much more hands-off type of investment, type of investor, I would say, that's looking for that type of thing.
I'm trying to pull it up. I just read something today and it was really cool. I saw this on Twitter. So here it is. So the headline is "Leaving Toronto, a couple map diversity, housing in other cities."
Okay.
So
diversity, how? Like,
yeah. So if you're listening to this, check this out. It's really, really cool. How do you get there? Well,
this is interesting.
If you look up on the Toronto Star, you might find it. I'll send you a link later.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll put a link in the show notes here. It's really cool. So if you can see this, it maps out. I think it's a 90-minute trip outside of Toronto, and it'll tell you the median income of the area, median age, population, average rent, average house price of different areas.
I bet you watch a lot of those factors spike for anywhere that's 90 minutes or less outside the city.
Soon. Yeah, definitely. Well, the whole point of this was that exactly what we were talking about. You're cooped up in Toronto. Your house or condo is super expensive. Where could you go and get a large field, large yard, and pay a fraction of the price? So this is more for end users now, right? Like, this isn't really an investment.
There is a downturn, not a downstream effect. It does impact renters as well. Renters are doing the same thing.
Yeah.
Right? If you have a fairly tech capable job where you don't need to be in the office every single day, you don't need to be, or maybe you can be in the office 0 days a week, 1 day a week, 2 days a week, instead of every single day at specific hours that everybody else also follows the same specific hours, and thus traffic is balls. But a lot of people are shifting to that, like, outside the city life. And I was saying this to Andre earlier while we were waiting for your ass to show up. Anywhere on the go line, right? Anywhere, just even the tail end of the go line. So long as I have transit access of some variety, then why not consider it?
Yeah, if you need to go once a week, a 50-minute GO train or hour GO train isn't that bad, to be honest.
It's interesting watching all these almost pinballs take effect right now. Like, my brother-in-law lived in Guelph, and their property in Guelph, I think I comped it out for them like 6 months ago, and it was $100,000 less when they sold, when they sold it, because of like the exodus finally started to happen, right?
Yeah.
So they got a shit ton. Then they bounced over somewhere that was still fairly rural because he's working from home nearly indefinitely, kind of thing. That was also in good shit, like for spectacular price. Also, great deal, Adam. But like, it's interesting watching it happen. As I watch like friends leave the city.
It's not, but it's not just in the city though.
No.
That's the thing. It's city to city, different
Yes.
cities. So
Yeah.
I have a friend who lives in Kitchener and works in Cambridge. So for those who don't know, that's around a 20-minute drive, something like that. And he used to have to go to his work every single day, but now he's figured that he can work from home just as effectively. So he doesn't really need to be in his small apartment in Kitchener.
Yeah.
Even though, so he lives in Kitchener because that's where we went to school, was Waterloo.
Gotcha.
Twin Cities, it's really close, so he knows the area and he has friends there. But now he's like, I can move wherever I want. I can go back to Toronto and just make that hour drive once or twice a week, and it's not a big deal. Or I can he's thinking of moving to Burlington because his girlfriend is from there, and they can move together. And
okay, I
why
know
not?
your girlfriend lives in Burlington. I did a condo deal in Burlington recently for the first time ever. I have never really been
It's
to Burlington.
so nice.
It's nice as shit. There's a couple spots that kind of smell like shit, but
Yeah.
mostly
The mushroom
it's
farm.
nice as shit.
Yeah, it's a really nice area, and it's the perfect area right beside Oakville. So Oakville's,
Well, they're both from
South-
Oakville. Then they were like moved out of their parents' place to Burlington, kind of thing,
no, they were
which worked out so
I
well.
think they were actually. Oh, yours were.
My friend-
Oh,
my
I thought you were
friends,
talking about
yeah.
my girlfriend.
How
and
would I
his
know
girlfriend.
that?
I don't know, but they're border.
I've never even met your girlfriend, Michaela. Right?
Yeah.
That's her name. Hi, Michaela.
Oh my god, you name dropped her.
This clip's going live on my stories.
That's okay.
Okay. Anyways,
Yeah.
carry on. That got weird.
Yeah, just Burlington. Burlington, man.
Burlington's great. No, we mentioned, like, again, more conversations pre-Spiro. We were talking about
Before I thought this was like
Before you
24 years
existed.
ago. We were talking about
Andre and I were talking when we were like
when I was
4.
working. Somebody's got
Just-
to work. Come
yeah,
on.
that's fair. I'd have.
No,
It's been
that was
slow
okay.
month.
Hold on. I just ripped on Phil for a sec, but Phil also won an award recently.
Oh yeah. Oh shit, I did. My mom was hype about that. Oh yeah, my furnace just went on. I'll turn that shit off because I'm sure that is terrible.
Oh, he
Audio.
pulls out the phone. He
What?
pulls out the phone. What year are we in?
I know, right?
That's pretty cool. Oh shit, my furnace.
Yeah, well, just a thermostat. We put that in yesterday. It was not actually as hard as I thought it would be. Okay, fuck off. Just like go away right now. And then I've got the sensors too. So like when we're down here, it knows that we're down here. So it goes by this temperature, not the main floor temperature where the thermostat's at.
Man.
2020's wild.
Yeah.
Yeah, my mom was pumped. She texted us like during like the event. She was
Commented on the post
so
too.
fun. Oh, did she really?
I think Sam said that.
That's so funny.
Yeah, that's pretty funny.
Thanks, Mom.
Yeah. So wait, what was the award again?
I don't know.
Agent of COVID.
That's a terrible fucking name. That sounds like I'm. Never mind.
Yeah,
it's
it
like
sounds like
you're in the streets spreading it. No. It was a very
It was a good 4
productive May and June.
Yeah.
Very productive May and June.
Yeah, it was a good time.
Yeah, and then I did nothing.
So yeah, I chirped him, but I can't chirp him because he's doing well. But I'm
All good.
yeah.
I don't even know where we were at though.
Burlington.
Burlington's nice. Oh yeah, I was talking about the flip side of like the millennials will what I was getting to young people in general. I shouldn't say millennials because millennials aren't very young anymore. Will always want to live in, not always, but most of them will always want to live in the city, like around other young people, around fun shit.
I make fun of people who are like
not like in the fucking burbs.
yeah. I'm moving 4 hours away. Like,
Right. Like,
all right.
I mean,
don't know what you're gonna
this
do.
is where we are at is basically the burbs of Toronto. And that's where we.
No, it's not, man.
Shift.
You're not from Toronto. This is like central Toronto.
No, it's not.
It's considered East End, but think about how far you have to drive east to actually go out of Toronto. I'm not talking about Scarborough. I mean out of Scarborough.
I was gonna say like Vic Park.
Once
is
once you get into Scarborough, okay, but that's still Toronto, right? Think about how north you got to drive to get out of Toronto. Like this is
Steeles.
yeah,
Steeles is the
Steeles.
line.
We're pretty far from Steeles.
Jesus.
Somebody breaking in.
We got elephants upstairs.
This is pretty fun. We've taken like 5 breaks, just like, oh shit.
There's quite a few tangents. We're getting used to the new studio, clearly.
I think you know what? Like, I think this was a great. It's like we're doing our first podcast again, but it's not really. But I feel like we've done that 4 times. We started in our first little booth.
Office, 1 episode at Property, 1 episode at the office.
The other office, our temporary
OG temporary office.
And
now
then
4th.
Here. So this is our here. Out of like the 13 episodes we've made.
Ooh, big number. We're at 2 digits now.
Yeah. It's been a long time though, from our weekly episodes to just 8 months
It took a while to get to 2 digits.
But I think coming back. But what my whole point was coming back. I think now we'll be back more steady.
Yeah, well,
we're going to be smashing. This is the spot now for the time being.
Has before it sounded like it was changing like every episode, but this spot is the same for the next 8 to 12 months.
Yeah,
more or less, and
now,
then we'll eventually get kicked out of here and have to go into the basement of the other new spot that we'll figure out when we figure it out.
Yeah, but I mean now I think we can have more consistent content.
Absolutely,
we can be producing stuff. I mean, we have Andre here now to help us, and I think already it's been much better. And now going forward, I look forward to this. I think this is what we intended originally, and our goal was to do this maybe within 4 to 6 months of when we started. But it had to get pushed back,
Hey, we're still sub-year. This is like the year mark.
No, it's been exactly a year, I believe. I think
because August last year was slow, and thus when we started, and we were like ham until November, because I think that's when we filmed Marco.
November 4th was our last episode until our most recent one.
All right, so we'll just stay ham.
Yeah, now we can still go hard. I think this is a perfect time to wrap it up. I mean, I gotta eat.
You're
something.
hungry. I can
hungry.
Hear it.
You're drunk.
That's not accurate, but it will be.